For Empower Her, episode 2. The conversation today is all about the power of saying no. So let me drop this in here. I have Instagram to my left, YouTube to my right. Saying, and let's capitalize that no, exclamation mark. So just waiting for some people to get in here. I pray everyone day is going swell. Thank you for being patient and understanding that I was going to run a couple of minutes behind. It was out of my control, but hey, I'm here now. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so happy for everyone to be here. Hi, Riz. Oh, husband, he's such a charmer. But yeah, I just what I want to say to y'all. I just want to check in first of all. How was your week last week? I know last week I had no voice. Courtney was just getting over having the flu, so we were just out of it. But we're here today, and that's all that matters. And I know the first episode we talked about, you know, waiting for some more people to get in here. Let me see. Hold on. I'm sorry. So yeah, guys. Anyway, so like I was saying, we were having conversation about, a whole bunch of things, and the whole purpose of Empower Her is to uplift and inspire other women to be the best version of themselves. Often we have these things where we feel like we're going through it alone, right? Like we experiencing things. We know other people go through it, but sometimes when you're going through the midst of it, you feel like you're doing it by yourself. So Empower Her was created, and I asked Courtney to come on and do this with me because this is bigger than me. It's bigger than her. It's bigger than, it's a nation. So anyway, that being said, I don't know if I should wait for Courtney to pop in or if I should just go into it. It says she's unable to join. I don't know why. Let me see. Sorry for the hold up. Anyway, let me see. So if you're catching this on a replay, I don't know. I did a whole poll on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, you're here with me. If you answered that, I have 5 questions where I asked you several questions about, how you felt about saying no, how were you hesitant in saying no, or what are some of the reasons why you rather not say no. So, I got a great response back, and I'm gonna share that with you guys. But anyway, let's proceed. So like I said, Empower Her is all about uplifting women and inspiring them to be the best version of herself, giving her a voice and giving a voice to those that are voiceless. So this, like, it came back to me like when Samir started school. He's about to be 10, mashallah, next month. He's about to be 10. Not next month, April. I'm already in March. And just standing in a schoolyard waiting for other parents to, waiting for the school to open up the doors and for us to get our children when it was dismissal time, we would have conversations, and the conversations would be, I was dealing with this, and I'm like, oh my God, me too. How did you deal with it? And although we had different ways of dealing with it because we heard each other out, I felt like there's some things they would say that I would take, and there's some things that I would say and they would take. So I have Women with Motives. It's a totally separate platform that I'm starting, but Empower Her was like, it was a no-brainer. Like, how can I empower her through conversation and letting her have a voice, you know? Um, so pretty much this is a passion of mine. And I could also say, and this might be a conversation later, like once you become a parent, sometimes you lose your fire, your passion, and what you want to do in life. And honestly, I did. But alhamdulillah, like just by being authentic to myself and being true to my healing, I started realizing that I needed a tribe. And a tribe does not need to be, or a village needs to be right where I'm at. It can be anywhere. You know what I mean? It could be virtually, it can be, someone in the next state, it can be just a pen pal. So that's why this is so important to me. You know what I mean? So I want to know, what does saying no mean to you? So the importance of boundaries, because that's what it all based down to. When you say no, you have to ask yourself why you're saying no to yourself. So is it because you're overextending yourself, um, and you feel like, okay, I want to say no, but I'm tired, but I don't want to let no one down, or whatever the case may be. But it all like balance out to being about boundaries. And boundaries is a line or limit where one thing ends and another begins, or something that indicates such a line or limit. A lot of times, I feel like when you don't set up a boundary, then people, whether it's family, friends, strangers, whoever, they cross those lines, and your boundary is basically stepped over, and the respect is not given. So when you set up that boundary, and might I add, also for yourself. Hold on one second. Let me get Courtney in here. So you have to set boundaries for yourself. Hey, Court.
Hi.
You good?
Sorry.
That's okay. You good?
Yeah.
Hi, Zanaya.
Hi.
She's the future. She's also Empower Her. We're not only doing this for adults, women who are adults. We're doing it for young ladies because we have to set the tone for them. It's very important that they know themselves and set their own boundaries. So, Court, I was just telling them about how part of saying no is it's stating the boundaries. And having boundaries is like the foundation of all of this.
Yes.
And sometimes we have family, friends, and sometimes I feel like even for ourselves, we cross our own boundaries. Like we would say, next time someone say do this, I'm gonna say no because I know my plate is full. But then when they ask, we be like, okay, no problem. And it's like, girl,
Right.
you just crossed. You just it was your boundary. You just you know crossed it.
You
Like
just
what? You
crossed
messed
it,
it
yeah.
up. You messed it
Yeah.
up. So um I feel like figuring out the reason why you're saying no. So it could be your cup is full and you have no, and it's happened to me. It has happened to me where I felt like, yes, I was invited to one of my, baby's classmates' birthday parties, or there's events that my family have had, and I'm just exhausted. When the weekend come, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
And I simply have to say no. The only thing I really can't stand when I say no is when people ask me why. Like, why can't you come? And that to me is a boundary. Like, because if I tell you why I can't come, then it becomes, oh, you're just making an excuse why you can't come now. So
Excuses, right.
I don't give I don't want to call them excuses. I just don't give them reasons anymore. I just say I cannot make it. Good morning, mindful mama, mindful
Hey, Maya.
Maya. Yes, Maya. So don't give ex- I don't give a reason anymore why I
Yep.
can't come. I just know that if I'm able, I will be there, and if I am not able, then I won't be there, and it is what it is. I can't make it to every
That's
event.
it.
I cannot make it to every event. So for you, Courtney, what does it mean by saying no?
Whew. Y'all, I've come a long way in the year. Okay.
Ooh, wait, can I
I've been
wait
going
1 second?
through.
Mindful Maya said no equals complete sentence. Yes, yes, yes. She put a no and a period.
That's it.
Absolutely. It's like we're adults here. We're not giving a reason. But go ahead. I'm
We
sorry,
shouldn't
Courtney.
have to. We shouldn't have to give a
No.
reason. If you know I'm a person that normally says yes and I'm giving you a no,
Mm-hmm.
then it has to be a reason why I'm saying no. I shouldn't have to explain it. And like I said, because I didn't I didn't know the word no. I didn't know the
Right.
word boundary. I
Mm.
didn't have any. So it was always, oh, well, let me go to Courtney. I know she'll do it.
Mm.
But why should I do it when you're not thinking about me and the things that I have going on, but you're worried about your things and your things getting done?
Right.
So to me, my eyes have come open because no, it's not tit for tat. But at the same time, if I'm telling you no, just know I'm telling you no for a reason. It's a
Right.
reason behind it.
Right. I realized when I started. Okay, so I can honestly say that I was a pushover. Like people can
Mm-hmm.
push over on me because I would instantly be like, even though deep down I did not want to do it, I would say yes because I didn't want
Yes.
them to feel any kind of way. I didn't want to feel like I was letting them down. But then I'm
Yep.
like, here they are happy and fulfilled, and here I am feeling like I just sacrificed whatever was going on with me, whether it was sleep, whether it was just I don't want to be in the presence of certain people or whatever. Like I sacrificed myself, and then it got to a place when my brother passed away, I felt like I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start living life, and that's the thing. Like I felt like my yes was just an endless cup of living for everyone else and not for me.
Everybody. Hmm.
So when I started living from a place of yes for me, then it started out being okay, Anjanae. Honestly, I stopped caring what people think. I stopped caring what people think. I actually had, and sometimes I have drawbacks because Courtney and I was on the phone this week, and I had to go to karate on Wednesday, and I was like, oh my god, I need to go, but Rakan needs to go, but if Rakan goes, then that means I have to go, and I'm feeling exhausted. And Courtney was like, girl, it's all right to say no today. It's all right to say no. And I was like, you know what, Court? You're right. Not forgetting that's the CJ, but I was like, you know what? I'm exhausted. Like, y'all know, I've been sick for like, it felt like 2 months now. I've been sick off and on. And I just was
Yeah.
like, I'm exhausted. We're on winter recess. I just want a break. I don't want like they already were still going to Arabic lessons. Then we had karate. The only thing that was missing was actually getting up early in the morning going to school. And I was like, I just need rest. And I already got my stripes. So I'm like, Rakan needs to go. My husband said he would take him. Let me take this moment for myself. And I'm happy I did. Um, Maya Maya said people will always call the easy yes first. And that's so true.
Girl, yay!
It's so easy. It is much easier to say yes than to say no. But the first time you say no, people act like you never said yes. I think Beyonce said those lyrics. I think Beyonce said those lyrics. It's like if I say yes all the time, and it's like the first time I say no, it's as if I never said yes.
Being
So
disrespectful, you ain't this, you ain't that, but I was okay. I was all of these good things
mm-hmm,
when I was saying yes.
exactly. I think also people like I think you got to have a balance too. because I personally feel like if a person keeps on saying no, I'm not coming, no, 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 after a while you stop inviting that
You
person.
stop.
You know what I mean? Um, so you got you. I think you have to. I don't want to say be strategic about how you say no, but you definitely got to understand. Like, are you just saying no because you just want to say no? Or are you saying no for
Right.
valid reasons? Like, for me,
Right.
my cup is full. Like, we have a lot going on here. We have karate. We have Arabic lessons. I have Arabic lessons now. We have school. Then I'm part of the SLT, and then I'm gonna help out the mosque too. So I have a lot on my plate, and it's just my husband and I. So when the weekend come, like today is Saturday, the boys had haircut, and I'm like, oh Lord, wait, today's Saturday. No, today's Friday. Oh Lord,
Friday.
look at me.
Mm.
Tomorrow I have infusion. Today is Friday, and I was
Mm.
already ahead. Like, oh my God, I got 2 more days, and then we get back to this crazy routine. And I'm like, okay, Anjanae, how can you pack up your day for today and pack up your day for tomorrow? But what if you're not feeling the best after your infusion? So you can just rest on Sunday. And I had to say no even to my grandmother coming out here this weekend. I'm tired. And she understood. Like I didn't even have to give her a reason. I just said, Grandma, I get infusions on this day. I think you should come next week. She understood automatically. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's pretty much that. I personally I did a poll. Did you do a poll on your YouTube?
I did do one. So 38% said that they feel guilt for saying no.
Mm.
58% said that it depends on who it's for and who's asking.
Mm.
And then the rest of the percentage was like they don't feel bad at all. 8%. 8% said that they do not feel bad for saying no.
Okay, so I asked, but it's only 8%. 8%.
Only 8%.
8%. That's really low.
Yeah.
And we can talk more about like how to get to a place where you're okay with saying no.
It's not within my bandwidth today. It's not a part of my ministry today. I do switch it up sometimes, but ultimately I say no.
Yeah. And it's not to be ignorant. It's just sometimes and I'm at a place where I'm like, listen, if I don't have nothing in my cup, I have nothing to run over to anyone else.
That's right.
So if my cup is not full, and part of me, and I'm not saying my cup being full when it comes to my family or our business, I'm saying for me, if my cup is not full for me, because once I give out, I got to make sure that my cup is still full. You know what I mean? So I asked 5 questions on Instagram, and for those that's here on YouTube, when you go check me out on Instagram, you will see these questions, and we'll probably do this more often. Like I guess drop more questions, polls for y'all to answer. So I asked, how do you usually feel about saying no to requests or invitations that don't align with your priorities or well-being? 20% said they're comfortable. 40% says somewhat comfortable. Another 40% said uncomfortable. And surprisingly, no one felt uncomfortable with saying no to requests or invitations. So on the people that follow me are more like, I'm okay with saying no or somewhat or but there was 40% that said that they were uncomfortable. So I guess we can waver that however we want. The next question was, what's your biggest challenge when it comes to saying no? The highest percentage was 45% was concerned about being seen as selfish and unkind. Selfish and unkind. And for those that said that, my question is, how could it, like, did you do it from a selfish and unkind place, or did you just felt like you were letting someone down when really you could have been like me, like you just didn't want to let them down, but you didn't really want to do it because you wasn't in a you didn't have the ability to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hello?
So the next question was, how often do you say no to things that don't serve your highest good? And 40% said regularly. I'm very protective of my time and energy, which is a beautiful thing. 30% said occasionally, I'm getting better at it. And 20% is rarely. I find it difficult um, most of the time. And then there was 10% that says never. I usually say yes to avoid conflict. So that was a low percentage.
Can I get 2 orders of mozzarella sticks, 6 piece?
Can you get one for me too?
Yes, please. And then a vanilla milkshake. Regular large? Regular. Okay. And then a curly fry, that'll be all. Small, medium, or large for the curly fry? Small. Small, curly, okay. That'll be $20.60 at the window. I was never a no person. I always said yes because I was raised that way.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, family is family, and you're supposed to do for family. But recently, a year, I started saying no, and I'm being disrespectful. You don't care about the family. You don't care this. You don't care that. But it's not that, because all these years I've been saying yes.
Right.
Now my mental isn't there.
Right.
I'm in counseling, 2 different counselings, one for the church and then one for VA, to try to get out of past trauma and drama out of my life.
Mm-hmm.
360. I have military too. Military? Yes. And it's about now my mentality, my healthiness, and saying no and putting up boundaries and being okay with those boundaries that I put up. Any extra sauce for you? No, thank you.
Tell me you on live.
It's invigorating. I love it. I love the word boundary. I love the word no.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm okay with saying it now. I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
But I am now, because if it's protecting my peace, and it's protecting my mental, and it's protecting my family, then I'm okay with it.
Right.
I'm not wrong for saying no.
I think that's the thing. Like, if thinking back, like when I used to say yes, I used to feel like not so much I'm letting them down, but I never wanted anyone to ever be upset with me. I never wanted. I felt like if I wanted to make sure that they were happy before I was happy. And my husband played a big part in uplifting me and saying, and he does it all the time. When I ask him, I'm like, Jono, whether it's something going on with the kids or he has to work or whatever, and I'm like, I feel so bad that you had to, like, when I was sick and I was in a hospital, I'm like, I feel so bad that you have to run from work, go get the kids, do this, do that, do this. And he was like, long as you're good, that's all that matters. Like, and he does that with everything. Like, it's always, I want to make sure if you're good, I'm good. And that's how I was. But his version of if you're good, I'm good is different, because together, and I tell people all the time, like in a marriage, it's not a 50-50 thing. Sometimes I'm going to be 20% and he's going to have to be that 80%.
That's right.
But it's different when it comes to your family and friends. Like, Rakan had at least 5 different parties he was invited to. And I had to say no to a lot of them. And it wasn't like, oh, I don't want to go to that party with, that family. It wasn't that. I would look at my schedule and go, okay, if I have to take him here, then I have to leave at this time so I could get here. And I don't know about anyone else, but that feeling of rush gives me anxiety. It gives me anxiety. And then when I don't fulfill my checkbox, that what I have to do for myself, I feel like I failed. And then I go back into this thing like, I should have just said no. I knew I didn't have enough time. I should have just said no. So now I'm looking at my things saying, you know what? I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time to do this. I don't have enough time to do that. There's only but so much time. There, yeah, there's 24 hours, but 8 of those hours you're sleeping, hopefully. So you don't have a full 24 hours. I'm very, very, um, I don't want to say protective, but I am mindful of my time. Not that I'm watching time, but I am mindful of what I do in my time. Like when I get off this live, I know that I'm gonna cook dinner. I know that I am going to prep for our live next week, which listen, please use the hashtag empower her. And even on this live, even if you're watching a replay, comment below some of the things that you personally feel like you struggle with, whether it's saying yes all the time, or sometimes do you say no too much and now you're not invited to the family events. I don't know. But so Courtney, what do you think some people, our viewers, can do to help, um I don't want to say strategize, but like help them confidently get to a place of saying no?
It's not gonna happen overnight. It did not happen overnight. I'm still in the process, and because I'll still catch it where I'm like, yeah, I can do that, but then I'll go and think about it like, well, why did I tell them that I could do it when I knew I had this going on? But it's just like it's just like you going in the mirror and you're telling yourself affirmations. I look good today. I am proud of me. You got this. You have to practice it. If you don't start somewhere, you're never, ever, ever are going to say no. Yeah. Never. And I could talk about it because I was that one. I never said no. And I know I had this going on and I know I had to get that done throughout the day, but I would never say no. I would always put what I had going on the back burner to get somebody else's stuff done. And I couldn't keep doing that because at the end of the day, it's my family that's going to be here with me. Not everybody I'm doing things for, but my family. And if I don't start being here and being present and showing up for them, then I'm not going to have a family, period.
Right.
So it's places where you're going to have to start saying no, and it's going to have to be okay with you mentally, physically, and emotionally, because we do think, oh God, what are they going to think about me if I do say no? But you can't get to where I was when I was just really fed up and then I blew like a teapot. You got to go ahead and get ahead of this stuff now. You got to go ahead and start practicing this stuff now, because they're not going to always be able to come to you.
Right.
You're not going to want to always be in that headspace. And when you get tired, that's the wrong time to do it. You need to start making a change and doing it now.
Yeah. The whole headspace part is, for me, is practicing self-awareness. I would seriously, and to be very honest with everyone, I would not, it wouldn't, when someone asks me, are you going to do this? Or are you going to come to this? It wouldn't be a straight hard no from me. I would tell them, let me check with my schedule and I'll get back with you. Because, and checking with my schedule is checking with my mental schedule too. Okay. So if there's a RSVP I need to do, I'm probably going to wait until we get to that RSVP day, because honestly, by the time that date comes, I might feel different and be like, you know what? I do feel good. I feel good. And a lot of times, also, when I say no, like previously when I was feeling sick, I didn't want to go out and be like, well, I'm feeling sick and I don't feel like, and I really want to rest. I didn't want to do that because, one, it came, for me, it sounded like an excuse when it wasn't, but it took it back to why am I even like explaining myself. Like I'm explaining myself. Like, and I didn't want everyone to know that I was sick. I was trying, because when you tell someone you're sick, they're like, oh, what are you doing? What did the doctor say? And it's like a rabbit hole. And I'm like, I don't want to give that. So a lot of times it goes back to me, not a hard no, but let me get back to you. Then it's self-awareness. How do I feel? I had a long week. I have a lot of meetings. I have this. I just want to sit this one out. and it's okay. And sometimes it's back to back, but it's
Yep.
okay. And then the other thing is that the other thing is that I find myself journaling. And sometimes I go back to some of my writings and what was going on at that time
At that
and how
season,
it
yep.
made me feel by saying no. And it's something empowering about it.
Yes.
It's something very empowering about it. So I suggest like write a journal, write in your journal, um, and don't be afraid to set boundaries, guys. Like that would be a
That is my
whole that
favorite
could be a
word.
whole conversation for, or a whole live talk for some other day. You can definitely in the comments write some of the topics that you would love to talk about because this is
Yes.
all about
Yes.
empowering, uplifting um, you and vice versa. It's like we feed off each other.
That's
I
right.
love a lot of things that Maya is saying, you know what I mean? Because we all, a lot of times people feel like when people be like, no, it's like it comes off as rude, but you never know what a person been through to get to that place of just being like, no. You know what I mean? So that being said, drop your comments. Make sure you use empower her and all those great things. Other than that, are there, we're gonna wrap it up, I guess. Courtney, we can wrap it up now.
Yeah, we can. These people just acting crazy and driving real stupid. Sorry.
Well, I did not want you on here while you was driving.
Oh no, I'm sick. We sitting.
Oh, okay, all right. But yeah, I find it, there's a couple of things you can take from this. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say no. It's okay to check in with yourself, make sure your cup is full, and then be able to pour into another situation. You feel up to going to something, or if you feel up to doing something for someone, then do it. But don't feel obligated. Don't feel obligated that you are put in a place where you have to do something that you don't want to do whatsoever. And just make sure you, like I said, self-awareness, journal it, look back on it and say, okay, yeah, when I was going through this, I felt like this and this is what I did.
Say hi, Mr. Carr. Hi. How are you?
Good.
That's who I'm blaming.
What she said? What he said?
That's who I'm. He was just saying hi. That was Mr. Carl.
Oh.
He goes by church, y'all. Sorry.
But
don't practice, and it's crazy, but yeah, practice, y'all. If you don't start somewhere, then how do you know how strong you'll be when it's really time to say no?
And what do you mean by practice? Like
like
you can say yes, but practice saying no. What do you mean by that?
I didn't get it. Like I didn't start saying no right off, but I started just saying no. It's practice, really. Like when somebody be like, "Well, Courtney, we're going here today, and we really want you to come, or we're doing this today, and we thought this would be great for you to do." Well, yeah, I can see what you mean. You thought it would be great for me to do, but I don't think that it's the right time for me to do it right now. You don't have to give no reason. And this is how I practice. Like, I literally practice saying no, y'all, because I didn't know the word. I really did not know the word.
I think that's the thing.
I started with family. I started saying no with family, and now it's becoming easier to tell other people, well, no, I don't think that's right.
Right.
Or
it's
no,
not,
I don't
it's not
think I
working on the
can.
schedule. That's true. Like I think you have to be real with yourself.
Ugh.
You really have to be real with yourself. I think the hardest person to say no to, or the hardest group of people to say no to, is your family.
Is your family.
Because they say, and I love my family. I love my family. I am closer to certain cousins than other cousins, and aunts than other aunts. But it's gotten to a place where I'm, and I even, my husband being Pakistani, a lot of times it's like when an auntie or elder say something, you automatically say inshallah. And I said to my husband, inshallah is another way of saying maybe. And they start laughing because I'm like, you be like inshallah, but then they don't show up or they don't do it. And I'm like, that's another way of
Right.
saying it's supposed to be God willing, but in English translation, other than God willing, is maybe. So I've gotten to a place where even with my mother-in-law, I love her. She is like she go to the moon and back, and sometimes do more than what she can. And I have to get on her about that a lot of times. But there are times where I'm like, I don't, I don't want to do it. I'm
No,
not gonna
yeah.
do it. And it's like,
That's
well, you
okay.
need to like, and it's okay. And honestly, I used to feel like if I say no, like in the polls, a lot of people say that they were worried. Um, one of the questions was like, how do you feel about saying, like, how does it make you feel after you say no? And a lot of
After you say
people were saying like, they felt like they was
guilty.
missing out on something. And that's how I felt. I felt like, oh my God, I'm going to be missing out on something. But I'm like,
Yeah.
thank God for technology and pictures. I know it's nothing like being in person, but at the same time, it's like, I'm happy I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so much more important that I got the rest that I needed. So that, because at the end of the day, my babies need me more than
That's
anything.
right.
They mommy to
That's right.
death, even if dad is sitting right there, okay? So,
I was told this a few minutes ago before I came on. And I was talking to one of my mentors and the ladies that I look up to, and she was basically saying that they don't have to be okay with you saying no.
mm,
You have to be okay with you saying no.
mm. Say that again,
If
Courtney.
if they don't appreciate it, or if they don't think that you are supposed to say no,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not doing it for them. You're doing it for your mental space.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing it because, like you say, if your
Oh,
cup is not full, how are you gonna pour it to your family if you're drained?
right,
How are you gonna run your household if you're drained? How are
right,
you gonna be what you need to be for your husband or what have you if you're drained?
right,
You can't pour into nobody's cup if ain't nobody pouring into you.
right. Absolutely right.
So you have to be okay with it. You have to be okay with saying no. You have to be okay with saying no. You have
Right.
to be okay with that boundary you set.
Yep. So with that being said, um, I love this. I really love this community, this space that we have, whether it's on Instagram or YouTube. And when I get enough followers on TikTok, I'll be there too. Um,
Yes,
I need to
yes.
be I need to be way more consistent on TikTok. But that being said, I love this space for us because we pour into each other, we love on each other, we inspire each other, and we give each other enough feed of encouragement to do what we're doing right now. So if you're
That's
not in a
right.
place of saying no, when especially if your cup is empty, this is your reminder. This is your boost of confidence to start saying no, even if it's to the smallest event or the smallest request of you. With that being said, also make sure you use the hashtag empower her. We're here every Friday. Sometimes we might, most likely, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 11
Most
Mountain
likely.
Standard Time. Inshallah, God's willing, we will be here every Friday at those times. And next week we're talking about I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue tied. Next week we're talking about empowering sisterhood, building each other up.
That's
So I
right.
can't wait to see y'all next week. Inshallah, like I said, my voice hairs are cut. I'll be here. Courtney will be here,
I'm
and
gonna be
we will
here.
do this together. I love you guys. Have a great one. Thank you for joining us. Have the most wonderful and blessed weekend
Yes,
and blessed week.
relax.
Relax. I know I am because my kid's going back to school on Monday. And I'm like, yes, I finally could clean the house and have it clean for 6 hours. Um,
Yes.
and we will talk to y'all next week. Make sure y'all leave your comments or whatever y'all want for the next live, okay? Bye.